All right. All right. Give me a chance to try out my new mic setup here. All right. The camera set up. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. In case you're wondering, yes, this is on YouTube. I guess I'm just gonna have to delete that video if I'm done with YouTube for right now. I'll make it again, and if YouTube decides to be a bunch of pricks, but as of now, I'm back for right now. Uh, um, a few things occurred to me. A few things happened to me over the weekend. Um, I got turned down by a few companies, but the nice thing was, one of the companies said, "Hey, don't give up. Hey, don't give up, please. Don't think that we're not interested. Keep in touch with us through our website. And keep applying for stuff." So at least they have been, and at least they were nice enough to tell me that. I'm gonna talk to them tomorrow. I'm gonna try and get in contact with a few others saying, "Hey, what's the big deal? Are you guys interested in me or not?" Um. So yeah. I mean, I'd like to be a professional YouTuber, but I don't think I can do this for the rest of my life and make good money. So, unless I had more subscribers, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Another thing, we just had Friday the 13th a couple of days ago, and we had some pretty good movies on Turner Classic Movies that Dad and I watched. We sat down and watched the original Friday the 13th, and yes, I mean the original 1980 Friday the 13th movie. I'm not going to be watching that piece of shit remake, okay? Sorry. Um, and the first one is the only one I watched because, truthfully, nothing beats the original. The original one was the best. I'm not going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it yet. So I definitely recommend that you find you a copy. If you're streaming, if you're like on Tubi, or if you're someplace like that, find you a streaming service like Amazon Prime or Paramount Plus. Probably definitely Paramount Plus, and find you Friday the 13th, the original Friday the 13th, and watch that. It's a good slasher movie, but it's also a murder mystery too. It's not just your typical a slasher movie. It's a murder mystery as well. It's a good whodunit. So that being said, also I just happened to realize that it will not be long before we are in the Halloween season, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what that means. We'll be doing some spooky stuff. So I figured I might as well get it up and going and start a little early. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reacting to paranormal videos, and what they're going to be is they're going to be paranormal encounters and videos around my home state, Oklahoma. That's right. I'm going to be bringing you spooky stuff from my home state. So this should be interesting because having grown up around paranormal activity in Tonkawa and around a lot of Native American superstition and folklore. Yeah, this should be interesting. As a matter of fact, I'm actually part Native American. I think my folks said I'm like either a third or a quarter Chickasaw. My granddad, Houston G. Adams, would have registered, but he had two sisters that said, "Like hell you are," so fuck them. Um, yeah, they're there are a couple. From what I gathered, there are a couple of assholes. I'm glad I never got the misfortune to meet. I wish I could have known my granddad though. He was amazing. He was Houston Adams was actually quite the technical expert. He was amazing. He was in the army. He was one of the army technicians. If something broke down, he fixed it. He kept a lot of the vehicles working throughout World War II. Yeah, he actually helped start the manufacturing classes out at OSUIT, and also the automotive classes out there. And he was a member of the faculty for a while too. So yeah, I have quite a bit of history with my grandfather. Like I said, I wish I could have known him. He died before I was born. But anyway, unfortunately, like they said, life isn't fair. So how well I know that. So, but anyway, sometimes it plays fair, but not always. But anyway, we're going to do some paranormal videos centered around my state of Oklahoma. And before I do that, before we do anything, let me shrink. Let me shrink. Let me shrink. Move the fat dude out of the way here. Alright, well, we're going to...
From a theater that you don't...
No, stop it. I am not ready for you, you piece of crap. God damn it. Oh. Alright. Now, we're going to take a look at top 5 scariest. We're going to start that out. We're going to take a look at top 5 haunted places in Oklahoma you should never visit. And as always, links to the original description, original videos, links to the original videos will be in the description box below after the live broadcast. And in case you're wondering, yes, I can see live chat. So I've got the video on my HD TV here, and I've got my studio and my live chat right here. So yeah, I can see you guys. If you want to drop in and say hi, don't worry, I'll see you, okay? Alright, let's start off with the top 5 haunted places in Oklahoma you should never visit. You guys ready? I know I am, so without further ado, away we go.
From a theater that you don't want to see a show at to a bed and breakfast you shouldn't be booking with your friends, here are the top 5 haunted places in Oklahoma that you should never visit. Number 5 on this list is the Thunderbird Youth Academy. The Thunderbird Youth Academy is located in Pryor and is deeply haunted with the ghosts of students who've long passed.
Oh my gosh, I've been there. I have been to Pryor. Oh my god, I have actually been to Pryor for a couple of job interviews. One for Ray Corporation, and I think I actually drove by the Thunderbird Youth Academy. Oh my gosh. Youch. Wow. We'll see what they've got to say.
Back in 1942, it suffered a horrible tragedy where a lot of the children staying here passed away.
Ooh.
Back then it was an orphanage, and it was still years before it would become a military school. It got hit hard with a devastating tornado that the building simply wasn't ready for.
Oh no.
Tons of the children who lived there perished due to the storm, and now their ghosts are set to linger here. Stories where people will wake up in their beds and find literally other children lying in them, staring directly at them.
Oh my gosh.
Common. These stories also don't even factor in one of the most famous ghosts there, Hector. Hector is a young boy who haunts the 3rd Platoon building. Hector's story is far more graphic than the other children who died. It's not confirmed, but some say that the cook took Hector's life and did it in a fashion that I can't go into detail on YouTube about. Either way, now his spirit forever haunts this building and all of those who reside in it. I personally would never want to go to military school anyways as a kid, but having it be haunted would make it even worse. Number 4 on this list is the Tulsa Theater. It's weird how some places attract ghosts and spirits.
Yeah. Oh, shit, man. Yeah, that's one that I would definitely, yeah. Hang on, guys. Let me check something here. All right. All right, there we go. Let me turn me down a little bit. All right, there we go. Yeah, that's messed up, man. That's messed up. Yeah, when you're living in a place like I am, like Oklahoma, yeah, you have that's tornado country. This is tornado country right here. Yeah, you guys, they just keep telling us, oh, you guys don't nothing. You know, we got the hurricanes, we got the typhoons, we got the tropical storms. Trust me, you live out here in the country in Oklahoma, and you're burdened with the tornadoes every spring and summer, especially if it's the summer, because that's when weather can get really nasty. Uh, yeah, you'll know good and well that nothing is bad enough as a is as bad as a tornado. Nothing, nothing at all. So anyway, let's move on.
Is the Tulsa Theater. It's weird how some places attract ghosts and spirits more than others. Theaters are one of the most prominent spots for paranormal presences, and this theater is no exception.
I don't know whether I can't remember whether I've been to the Tulsa Theater or not, but it looks familiar.
News Oklahoma says Tulsa Theater, formerly known as Brady Theater, used to be.
Oh, the Brady Theater, formerly known as the Brady Theater. Okay, and then they renamed it the Tulsa Theater. Ah, okay. Yeah, I think I have been here. I think I've been. Well, if not here, the new Brady Theater. I went to go see Alice Cooper live in concert. So yeah, this may be a different theater.
A vaudeville house providing entertainment to audiences. This space went through a lot over the years, including being abandoned and almost destroyed.
Oh yeah, that's a different theater. The Majestic, yeah. In the wind. Oh wow. In the Derby doll car. It's the big cheer. Oh wow. That's nostalgia right there. Russell Stover candies, Kings, and oh man.
But after renovations and a name change, the Tulsa Theater reopened. Legend is the space is haunted by an Italian opera singer named Enrico Caruso. Caruso took in the sights around town while in Tulsa to perform. He wanted to see the oil wells and how they made them, said French. And as they came back, it was raining, it was cold, miserable, and the car broke down. Despite already being sick, Caruso made the journey back on foot in the rain to give what turned out to be his last performance ever. He had a great performance, according to history, French said. It was one of his best. Standing ovations in the whole 9 yards. Unfortunately, after returning to Italy, Caruso died. French said many say Tulsa caused Caruso's demise, and that's why it's believed he haunts the theater. Even Caruso's manager named Tulsa as the reason for his death.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh, how sad. That's just sad, man. That's just totally sad. Oh man. Now, bless his heart, doesn't sound like he was a very he wasn't very good with keeping time. Hey Wolf, how you doing? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Can't really complain. But anyway, let's see.
But it goes deeper than just Caruso. When it was the Brady Theater, the building is rumored to have played a role in the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. I mean, it played a huge role. It housed some of the victims. There are rumors they died inside and some other horrible things that happened to them, French said. We actually captured electronic video phenomena evidence that almost confirms all of the stories there. The Tulsa Race Massacre was a horrible display of hate and racism.
Yeah.
On May 31st in 1921, a bunch of white residents who had been given weapons by city officials attacked a bunch of black residents. This incident lasted over 24 hours and saw more than 800 people get injured and at least 36 people die.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember hearing about this. Oh my. And, you know, listen to that well. And listen to it well, guys. You know, listen to it well. This is a perfect example that hate is taught, not inherited. It always has been, and it always will be. And there was no excuse for this. This was absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Unfortunately, you got people back then not realizing it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, we're all Americans. You know, so what? We come in different colors, different shapes and sizes, but we're all part of one. We're all part of one race, and that's the human race. But unfortunately, prejudice doesn't die that easily. Yeah, I remember hearing about this. It's absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's see. What is... Yeah. New. Okay, all right. Well, that's odd. Of the class about... Yeah, I need to get back to 7 Days to Die. I started building a house there. I need to get back to it. They probably deleted everything. I'll probably have to start all over again. Anyway, back to the video.
A horrifying tragedy that never should have occurred.
No.
It's no wonder that any place tied to this incident could be haunted.
Yeah.
Number 3 on this list is the Hex House. Yeah, that's right, guys. This place is literally called the Hex House, so it's no wonder why it's making the list. News Oklahoma says again, so this is something we feature in our serial killer tour. The new Hex House is inspired by the home that used to belong to Carol Ann Smith. French said the original Hex House, located at 10 East 21st Street, has negative energy attached. I mean, the things that she did with her nephew. They were dumping hot water on people that lived in the duplex next to them. There's also that whole history of her keeping those 2 hostages in the basement and kind of hypnotizing them, putting hexes on them. Yes, it's insane, said French.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. I guess it goes back to the old saying, what kind of a beast is man?
Claims of windshield wipers or stereos going on while the car is off are frequent if parked nearby. French even says they tested the theory during a tour and claimed she never did it again. We turned the bus off, but then it wouldn't start back up. It wasn't until a lady said she called Carol Ann a bad name and then she apologized. As soon as she was done, the bus came immediately back on, French says. The reason this house is on the killer tour list is due to what went down in 1928, guys. John Blymier, after receiving consultation from a woman named Nellie Knoll, thought that he had been cursed by another man named Nelson Raymer. John and some of his friends broke into the home, which is the Hex House, and then brutally killed Nelson. After they did this, they tried to set the house on fire, but it actually didn't burn. Since then, it's been a hotspot for ghosts, specifically that of Nelson Raymer. Number 2 on this list is the Stone Lion Inn.
Oh, man. Stone Lion Inn.
Bed and breakfast. This is definitely not the Airbnb you want to be booking for you and your pals for that relaxing weekend getaway you've been picturing. Travel Oklahoma says, stay at the Stone Lion Inn Bed and Breakfast in Guthrie at your own risk, as a mischievous ghost child has been seen and felt throughout the home. The spirit, said to be that of 8-year-old Irene Houghton, has been known to squeeze the toes of sleeping guests or even crawl into bed with them. The eerie tap-tap-tap of a child's footsteps has also been heard leading from the second floor to the third. According to legend, the 8,000-square-foot home was where the child met her fate when a nurse her with cough syrup containing. The family moved on, but little Irene refused to leave. After the Houghton family moved out, the home changed into a boarding house and then a funeral home. Paranormal investigative teams have encountered several other ghosts, including a strong male entity who lingers in the basement where the morgue once was. Through the years of people staying here, there have been tons of reports of sightings and interactions with ghostly entities. As mentioned, it's pretty normal to be visited by Irene, the ghost of the young girl who passed here. A bit of a rarer encounter is that of a ghostly music box, though. The owner, Becky, has come out and said, one of my guests just the other day came out of this room and said all night long, I heard this music box. Now, it's unclear whether one of the ghosts was playing this music box or if the box just sort of started on its own, but that would definitely be enough to keep me awake if I was that guest. Pictures, videos, and voice recordings have all been captured here by paranormal investigators many times. It was first investigated by a paranormal specialist 18 years ago, and since then, it's been a hotspot for all ghost hunters alike to check out. Unless you're well-versed in dealings with spirits, I'd pick a different Airbnb for you and your buddies. And number 1 on this list is Guthrie's Boys Home. This site started out as an orphanage in 1923 when it was built. Now, becoming an orphan would truly be a horrible experience that I can't even begin to understand, but I can guarantee you that it would have been far worse if you got sent to this orphanage. That's because of the horrible atrocities committed here. There is no denying that the maid who worked here back then was sick. Mentally sick, deranged to a point where she felt a desire to these young orphans. It's believed that she would often abuse these innocent children in any number of ways. Now, this isn't confirmed, but these are rumors. It's also thought that she even took the life of a few people while she was working here and made it look like an accident.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That is... Ew. Man, how sick can you get? Jeez. Yes, that's sick. Well, I'll tell you what. There's a special place in hell for people like her.
This all culminated one day when she finally took her own life by jumping out of the bell tower and falling to her death. This has obviously led to some spiritual presences staying behind. Lucky for all of us, it's not the spirit of this sick old maid who died. However, as sad as it is, it's the spirits of some of these children here who were wronged. There is apparently one girl who appears to visitors and begs for safety. Crying and screaming children can be heard echoing throughout the building at all hours of the day. The sounds of little feet running up and down the halls are regularly reported as well. Believe it or not, this isn't enough to drive people away though, because it's a popular wedding spot. Definitely not the area I would choose to get married if it was up to me though.
No. Absolutely not. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, if I was getting married and my fiance, hey, we're getting married here, she's probably going, what are you, nuts? Ew. No. I can't say that I gotta say I couldn't blame her either. Oh man.
But anyways, guys, there you have it. That is our list of the top 5 haunted places in Oklahoma you should never visit. Please comment down below what you thought about this list and some other haunted spots around the area that you may know about. Also, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Nicholas Playlog, and I'll catch you next time.
Oh, man. Oh. Well, I don't know if you can hear me or not, Wolf, but yeah, to answer your question, I'm doing fine. And yeah, I need to get back to 7 Days to Die. I started it up, and they probably already have deleted a bunch of my stuff. I probably need to get back to it. Let's see. I've got... Watch later. Here we go. I've got a bunch of stuff saved on here. Yeah, I've got several. No, we're not going to do all of these. We're not going to do all these, guys. We'll just do a few. Hauntings. Yeah, how about, yeah, let's, I'll tell you what. Yeah, okay. Well, those are going to be a little long. We'll start. Oh man, that's what. Oh, what the hell? We'll start with the hauntings of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. You guys ready? I know I am. So without further ado, away we go. Oh, I guess it would help if I unmuted this.
Hometown Ghost Stories contains serious and often distressing events and is not intended for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
I was born dead. And since birth, I've always seen ghosts just a little bit more than others. Let me back up and explain. I was born with gastroschisis, which means my stomach and intestines were outside of my body. I lived most of my childhood in and out of hospitals. At the age of 1 in a hospital, I was talking to an imaginary friend. My mother didn't think much of it at the time. After all, I could only utter a few words. I pointed out a giraffe to my friend, and I said the word, "Giraffe." It seemed to understand. Moments later, the stuffed giraffe moved on its own several feet across the floor. My mother was terrified. My family was never well off. The mounting medical bills didn't really help. And when I was 14, my parents moved my 2 younger brothers and myself into a house in South Oklahoma City. While moving in, my 13-year-old brother and I went and inspected the garage. There was a big, blackish splotch on the concrete that someone had frantically tried to scrub out. It took us only a few moments to realize this was dried blood. It turns out the previous family were the victims of a home invasion, where the crooks rounded the family up, took them to the garage, and executed them one by one. Our father made us swear not to tell our little brother. We would only last 2 months in the house. It started with the mirrors. All of our mirrors started breaking, appearing as if it was punched or cracked. At first, my dad would blame one of us. And then we would come home to either the family Bible missing, every light on, and all the cabinets in the house open. Once again, our father would still get angry at us. He didn't want to believe that there was something else doing this, even though no one was home to do these things. And then it would begin messing with my youngest brother. There was a shelf in his bedroom closet that none of us could reach without at least a step stool. Yet his toys would end up on it. My other brother and I would be blamed, and my youngest brother would remain quiet. That is until the day that my father was going to beat us. Finally, my little brother broke his silence. They're not doing it, Dad. It's the little boy that lives in my closet. He just wants to play with my toys, but he never brings them back down. And he's scared of the dark. That's why he always turns the lights on. All appeared in the same spot. Pictures began to fall off the wall, and we ran out of the house. 20 minutes later, our dad came home to the three of us crying on the ground in the front yard. My siblings and I would never enter the house again. This was a listener-submitted story from Anissa. I'm Rob Coakley, and this is Hometown Ghost Stories, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Turn this down a little bit.
The Overholser Mansion. Henry Overholser was considered the father of Oklahoma City. And in 1903, he would have the first mansion in the city built. While Henry was busy building buildings, theaters, and railroads around the city, Anna was known as the biggest socialite of the area and often hosted balls, parties, and social clubs. After their deaths, the mansion would pass to their children and eventually be donated to the state. Since then, it has been the site of hauntings. A caretaker of the property once moved the blowtorch she thought was cool looking from the basement to the kitchen. Shortly after this, security guards would begin to call her at 10 in the evening and 4 in the morning. They would always say the same thing: "You gotta come. I don't understand what's happening, but the kitchen door keeps opening and closing on its own." So the woman would come, and by the time she got there, the door had stopped opening and closing on its own. This went on for a week.
Ooh.
Finally, her husband went with her one time to check it out. When he looked in the kitchen, he noticed the blowtorch. He pointed it out to his wife and asked her where she found it. She brought him down to the basement and pointed next to the furnace. He said, "You know that blowtorch is what they used to use to light the furnace, right?" She responded with, "No, I just thought it looked cool and wanted to display it." He then went on to explain that whoever would be in charge of the furnace would have used the blowtorch around 10 and 4 every night and morning.
Ooh.
The woman moved the blowtorch back to the basement, and after that, the kitchen doors stopped swinging open on its own.
Ooh. Yikes.
The most famous ghost of the mansion is that of Anna, where more than one person has seen her walking around in dresses that she was photographed in. Another caretaker pulled in one morning and saw a film crew setting up across the street. She approached them before entering the mansion to ask what they were filming. While chatting, one of the crew members asked who lived in the mansion currently while looking up. The caretaker told him no one, and that it's currently a museum, and locked tight until she opened the door. The man became pale and pointed out a window and said, "I just saw someone open that curtain and look out at us."
Ooh.
Neighbors and passerbys have often said that they also see the curtains of the third floor open and that they see a woman in a white dress. This woman is believed to be Anna Overholser.
Ooh.
A visiting senator, Mike Monroney, and his wife, that were friends of Anna's daughter, were staying in the mansion one evening. Mrs. Monroney was walking down the stairs when she saw a woman in a white dress walk from the parlor into the music room, which she was able to identify as Anna Overholser. On another occasion, upon entering the mansion, a worker heard muffled voices between the music room and the library. She went searching for the source but couldn't find anything. She told a co-worker about it, and that co-worker informed her that Anna had bridge games on the first Tuesday of every month sharply at 2 p.m. The worker
Oh.
was hearing the voices on the first Tuesday of the month around 2 p.m. The
Oh,
creepiest story was the same woman was approached by a random visitor after a tour had concluded. The visitor said to her, "Anna wants her Bible put back on the table." Again, the woman went to her coworker and told her about this, as she wasn't aware of Anna having a Bible on the property. The coworker's mouth dropped and said, yes, they did have Anna's Bible, and recently it had been moved to a closet for storage.
Ooh.
They promptly returned the Bible.
Oh, ho, ho,
Amongst
ho.
Anna and the basement worker, it is believed Henry's spirit is still within the mansion. A stroke in 1911 caused him to stay practically bedridden in the house until his death in 1915. Although not quite as prominent as his wife, Henry's spirit has been felt, especially in the room that he spent the last 4 years of his life. A shadowy man has been seen moving throughout the room and disappearing upon being noticed.
That's not
The
good.
Skirvin Hotel. The 14th floor, 225-room Skirvin Hotel is located in downtown Oklahoma City and is the city's oldest hotel. The hotel, that is now on the National Register of Historical Places, first opened in 1911.
Wow. First opened in 1911, guys. That's amazing. Man, look at that. That's a hotel. That's a hotel in Oklahoma City. Dang.
It was named after its founder, W.B. Skirvin, who had a reputation for gambling and womanizing.
Oh, dear.
It is believed that on the 10th floor, he would often hold illegal gambling activities and private parties.
Oops.
Known to have multiple affairs, the one of legend is one with a maid named Effie. Effie was described as a promiscuous woman for her time, and it seemed W.B. had met his match. They carried on an affair, that is, until Effie wound up pregnant. Not wanting the scandal to get out, it's believed that W.B. locked Effie on the 10th floor of the hotel. Locked in a room for 9 months, she eventually would give birth. Yet, W.B. kept her locked in her room beyond the birth. Effie became depressed and eventually decided she didn't want to live anymore.
Oh, my
She would plunge from the 10th floor with her baby to their death.
Oh, my gosh.
WB, being well connected, was able to keep their deaths quiet. Since then, the staff have heard voices and seen objects move, most prominently on the 10th floor. The ghost of Effie seems to be very attracted to men who stay in the hotel as well. In fact, the hauntings have become famous over the years as NBA players have chimed in on their experiences. In 2010, multiple New York Knicks players blamed a loss on staying at the hotel. Eddie Curry was so frightened that he left his room on the 10th floor to go stay in Nate Robinson's room. It didn't change things much, and most of the team said that various knocking and noises kept them up for the majority of the night. Later that year, Taj Gibson of the Chicago Bulls was in his room in the Skirvin when suddenly his bathroom door would slam shut. Taking a few moments to process what had happened, he was scared to death, but still tried to justify that it was a reasonable explanation for the door closing.
Sure.
Derek Rose, who was staying down the hall, was in a teammate's room because he was also frightened, and then they both heard the door slam. Bill Simmons, a notable sports journalist, stayed in the hotel and heard the cries of a baby all throughout the night. Meta World Peace even claims that he was inappropriately touched by the ghost of Effie. NBA teams still stay there. However, it has gotten around the league from player to player to keep an eye out while staying at the Skirvin.
Ooh.
St. Vincent's Mental Asylum. The St. Vincent's Mental Asylum opened its doors in 1945, and it wouldn't take long for tragedy to strike within its walls. A nurse working in the building began to get fed up with the patients. So one night, he waited until everyone was asleep. He snuck into the room of a patient and suffocated them to death.
Oh my God.
After an autopsy, the death wasn't considered suspicious. Shortly after, the nurse would strike again.
Are you kidding me? It was not labeled suspicious? Suffocation was not labeled suspicious. Oh my gosh.
Yet again, the death wasn't ruled as suspicious.
Hey Daniel, how you doing?
Perhaps feeling he had nothing to fear, the nurse would try something different. He threw a patient down a flight of stairs with the goal of another murder. This time, though, his victim would survive. He would flee the state right after. Shortly after that, the man turned himself into the police, possibly because he wasn't able to live with the guilt. Shockingly, the police didn't believe him and submitted him to a lie detector test. When he passed, they finally took him seriously.
Huh.
When asked why he did it, he told him that he had tried to kill before and failed, so he had to try again, just to see what killing a person felt like. The man was then evaluated and found to have schizophrenia and would spend the rest of his days in an asylum himself. A few short years after this, the asylum would start being run by a priest named Father Dolan. He would operate the asylum as an alcohol and drug rehabilitation center. Things appeared on the up and up throughout the years. That is until Father Dolan's arrest in the mid-1980s when he was trying to solicit a male prostitute that happened to be an undercover cop. Shortly after this, Father Dolan would be found brutally murdered in his apartment, and then some other things began to come to light. Apparently, over the years, there was at least 2 other instances that Father Dolan was brutally attacked, and it was always by individuals that had sought treatment at his asylum. The first attack was at a bingo game that Father Dolan was involved in, where 2 men left him brutally beaten. Another attack saw things escalate a bit. According to a friend of Father Dolan, a man and a teenager beat him with a baseball bat, followed by dousing him in gasoline with the intention of setting him on fire.
Oh
He
my
was able to
gosh.
escape when he reached his car. Supposedly, the motive for every attack was robbery. The suspects from the first 2 attacks were cleared of the murder later, and a different suspect was brought in but never charged. To this day, the murder of Father Dolan remains unsolved. As for St. Vincent's, many believe the building that is abandoned and decaying is also haunted. Some believe it's been haunted by a demon since its doors opened. Investigation teams have recorded EVPs within the building that sound like an angry voice telling them to leave. Others have been attacked and scratched. Most believe, however, that the demon that haunts the building possessed the men that committed the murders within the walls, inside and outside of it. The building is now off limits to the public and structurally unstable. Those that do break in, however, have reported feeling like they are being watched and followed. With the current condition of the building, it is most likely to be torn down in the future. Perhaps when that day comes, the spirits that haunt this building will finally be able to rest.
Ooh, that's creepy. That is very creepy. Hello, hey Daniel, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining the chat. All right, let's continue here.
Welcome in to Hometown Ghost Stories, episode number 31, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I'm Jesse Wilkins. I'm joined by Rob Coakley. What's up, Rob?
What's going on, everybody?
We're also joined by Dave. Hello, Dave.
Hello.
Oklahoma City. A few locations there. A few of many. I want to welcome everyone that's hanging out in the live chat. First of all, thank you to Irish Assassin for the Tier 1 sub. I appreciate that on Twitch. And then we got a bunch of new people in here. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Pawsy's here, Fox Crown. King Casher, as always. Quad is here. What's up, Quad? The one and only Captain McSlugs. Yeah. The usual crowd. What's going on, everybody? Stephanie, how are you?
We also have Not the Real Dave Wilkins in the chat, which is fun. I don't know who that is. I have my suspicions.
Okay. I didn't know they were going to go to this. I thought they were going to continue some stories. I'll leave the link to the original video in here. We won't watch the whole thing. We won't watch the whole thing. If this is all they're going to do from now on. Looks like it is all they're going to do. Yeah. It's just chat. So let's go on to my watch later stuff. Let's go on to exploring Oklahoma's top 10 lost and demolished and abandoned places. Like I said, I'll leave the link to this video in the description box if you guys want to watch it later. Watch it by yourselves. Like I said, if you guys want to do that, that's fine. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Let's move on to the next video. You guys ready? I know I am. So without further ado, away we go.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Abandoned Atlas YouTube channel, where today I'm going to be counting down my favorite abandoned buildings that have been demolished here in the state of Oklahoma. And if you have any stories or memories about the places I'm going to be talking about, be sure to leave a comment below. Without further ado, let's jump right in with number 10, the Tonkawa First Presbyterian Church. Now, just from the front of this building, you can really see the architectural design. Those 4 windows and that tower that sits right above the entrance was just something that blew me away when I first saw it. And this building was actually featured on the 2011 list of the most endangered places list of Preservation, Oklahoma.
Wow, that is nice. It's beautiful. It really is.
And I had the opportunity to explore this building back in 2012 when there were actually still pews inside. Exploring around the building, there were books still on the shelf. Those beautiful windows let in just a really atmospheric light, and the circular design that was found in the lobby was just really, really intricate and cool.
Oh, wow.
One of my other favorite features was the wooden staircase that led you down into the basement. Now, this building actually dates back to 1912. This is actually a lone example of a Romanesque revival-style church in Tonkawa County. This particular church is further enhanced by characteristics associated with the arts and crafts style that emerged from the first part of the 20th century. And it was thriving and growing through the 1930s. But by 1962, the church counted only 46 members. Similarly to many churches around the state, the drop in membership combined with the most maintaining of the structure led to the church closing its doors permanently in the 1990s. Now, according to the Preservation Oklahoma website and entry, there was a hope to revive the church and restore it, but unfortunately those plans fell through because there was a comment on our website that said it was demolished after I had visited in 2015. So, unfortunately, this beautifully historic building has been left to the elements, but thankfully that we were able to get some pictures, and if you have any memories there, be sure to leave a comment below.
Oh, man.
Number 9, the abandoned highway section of I-40 in Crosstown, Oklahoma City. Now, a lot of people know that Oklahoma City has 3 major highways that go right through the middle.
Yes.
I-44, I-40, and I-35, all taking you north and south, east and west, up through Tulsa and into Missouri. So to Oklahoma City, it is imperative that traffic moves smoothly and fast through the downtown. Now, when Interstate 40 was originally built in the 60s, there was about a 4-mile stretch that went right through downtown Oklahoma City called Crosstown. Now, this particular section of the interstate was built up on a series of bridges and required constant maintenance. So one of the great things that Oklahoma City did was to build the new Crosstown that goes 5 blocks east of where the old Crosstown was. And this took several years to complete. But once the new Crosstown part was finished, they ended up abandoning the old one right in the middle of Oklahoma City for at least a year and a half. And if you could get around the barriers, you could actually still get up into the highway. I remember one specific time I saw a car. There was this father and a daughter that was out there driving, and he said that he was just letting his daughter practice driving because she was about to take her test. And what better way to let somebody practice driving than on an abandoned piece of interstate?
Well, there you go.
Condition. And now most of that old section has been repurposed into the Oklahoma City Boulevard that you see there today. Number 8, Oklahoma City Public Schools. Now this isn't just one location, but rather a series of them. We've lost a number of old historic high schools in recent years, including John Marshall High School and Columbus Elementary. Now John Marshall High School was one of my first schools that I ever got to explore. The choir classroom, TVs, assignments were still on the board. I mean, this place had everything. Pieces of equipment in the kitchen. The list just goes on and on. How vast this place was.
Wow.
John Marshall High School is still in existence today, but they simply moved locations over to 122nd and Hefner Parkway. But before that, they were at this location. And I don't know what made this place so exciting to explore, but it seemed like every time I went back, I found out something new. And I had the wonderful opportunity to interview a lot of people who used to go there with lots of memories and people who were so sad to see it in the state that it was. And in 2014, it was announced that this building would be demolished. Now, Columbus Elementary was a bit of a different story, and had been abandoned for quite a few years, was hurting the neighborhood, so it was no surprise that this building was ultimately demolished, but in a lot of people's opinion, it still could have been saved with the right investor. Number 7, Riviera Drive-In.
Oh, man.
Now, at one time, drive-ins were the staple of movie watching.
Yeah?
You would just drive right up, put the speaker in your car, and you would watch the movie from your car.
That's right. That's exactly right. Oh, man, I got to experience a drive-in theater in Richland, Pennsylvania. There's actually one in Tulsa called the Admiral Twin. So one of these days, I think Dad and I are going to try and see if we can't go there and have some fun just watching a movie there. Hopefully, maybe we can. I guess we'll just have to find out. Anyway.
Now, between the 80s and the 90s, the popularity of drive-ins really started to dwindle, and it was no different for the Riviera Drive-In in southwest Oklahoma City. But what was interesting about this place is that it still had old movie projectors, movie posters, popcorn containers. I mean, it was really like they just got up and they left. And what's great is that today, drive-ins are starting to make a small comeback.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the Riviera was demolished long before this trend restarted. So unfortunately, that one is only going to be left to the history books. Number 6, the Bank One Drive-In in Oklahoma City. Now, most people refer to this location as the Wavy Bank. Now, this wasn't always the Bank One Drive-In. It actually started as the drive-in for the Central State Bank, which is where Bank One took over later. And that white wavy roof with the blue tile columns, that actually was in 2 areas. One that was actually attached to the main building, and one that was across the street, connected by a tunnel that went underneath, that you would go up through a spiral staircase. At some point between the transition of Central State Bank and Bank One, the teller booths that were attached to the building were taken down, except for the very last column that was left at the street corner. But the one that was connected by a small tunnel and spiral staircases that went up was still there until about 2015. I can still remember visiting this bank and finding old Bank One checks, different notes that were written to the employees that were working in the teller booths. It was really like a time capsule with the amount of things that were just left on those desks. The chairs were still there. I'm actually surprised I didn't find any money, but I'm sure that's long gone. Now, this beautiful and famous Wavy Bank was taken down in 2018 or 2019 to make way for the new OKCPS admin building that needed more parking. So unfortunately, that building is now no longer here, but I am very honored and happy that I was able to get some pictures to show what was there before it was taken down. And don't worry, this list is not all Oklahoma City locations, because number 5 is the Tulsa Speedway. Tulsa Speedway was a well-known track in Oklahoma, getting its roots at near what's now Faro Meadows Horse Track. This famous speedway actually changed locations several times and ultimately landed right off the Highway 75 near Tulsa in 1985 and remained there until it closed in 2005. When they closed this place down, they simply shut the doors and they left. Everything was left behind. You could see the advertisements that were still out on the field, the scoreboard. This place ended up being demolished sometime in the 2016 to 2017 area, and some of the stoplights can still be seen if you go out to the location, or at least the last time I was out there. But unfortunately, this place is now lost to time.
Oh, man.
Now, of course, the history of this track is way more complex than that, and I actually found out about this location because of somebody else that contributes to this website, and his name is Johnny Fletcher, and he actually has an entire chapter about the history of this particular place in our book, Abandoned Oklahoma. Be sure to go on our website, abandonatlas.com, and you can get your very own copy there. Number 4, the Andrew Goodhome House. This was a pretty famous, elaborate Victorian-style house that dates all the way back to the early 1900s.
Wow.
And it was the project of a Swedish immigrant named Andrew Goodhome. He was prominent in the Oklahoma City community, being known as a builder, a city councilman, an organizer of Acme Milling Company, and he had many talents and was successful enough to start construction on his grand old grand home in 1899. The house was occupied by Andrew, his wife Agnes, and their 6 children, 2 of them being born in the home until 1918, when they left Stillwater to run a business. And in the 1970s, when a man named James Fentress got a hold of the building, he was a preservationist himself and wanted to make sure that this building was safe and sound and preserved. So he donated it to the State Fair, where it sat on display for several years. Now, of course, breaking a historic mansion into several pieces and moving it to another location is no easy feat. And so the fact that they were able to dismantle it and put it back together and keep the historic nature was something impressive in 1979. So from 1979 until about 2008, this building sat proudly on display where many people could come and enjoy it. But in 2008, it actually started to meet the same fate. And unfortunately, it was just going to take too many repairs to bring it back to life. So until somebody wanted to step up to the plate, it was moved once again and sat in the back of a mobile home yard for several years. This home was waiting to be given to the right developer, and there were several people who were interested. The only stipulation was that somebody had to come and move it themselves in order for it to be eligible for renovation. And there were several interested parties, but the owner just never got back to them, and unfortunately, the wrecking ball got there before anybody could say or do anything about it.
What a
So it was not the
shame.
original home. Hello. Oh, we're just getting some pictures because we were curious why it was getting demolished. We heard it was at the State Fairgrounds, built in the early 1900s.
It was, but it was historical though. That's why the Historic Society didn't want it.
Interesting.
That's why it got left here, because it wasn't historical.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. Well, all right. Thank you. And if you do want to learn more about that building, we do have an article on it, abandonedok.com. The link is in the description.
I guess that's a perfect example of ignorance is curable, stupidity is forever. What a shame. That was a beautiful house. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't. This doesn't look like it has anything to do with the paranormal, but we'll watch. The next one I think does. There's not too much left on this. We'll watch the rest of this, and I'll move on to the next one.
Number 3, Townley's Dairy. Now, it's not every day that you come across an abandoned dairy factory, but Townley's was one of a kind. And it's not historic because of its architecture. It's actually historic because of the name it made for itself in Oklahoma City and the story behind it. For anyone that had a chance to explore Townley's Dairy before it was demolished, it had pretty much everything left inside from the moment you walked in. There was this huge, gigantic sign that said Townley's Dairy right on the top. It was big, it was bold, it was just so prominent, and you could actually see it on the highway driving on the I-40 crosstown right before you got to the 235. Little tie-in from number 9. But Townley's Dairy really made a name for itself through the 60s and the 70s when milk delivery was huge in America, and they were really big on branding. So a lot of those milk cartons and a lot of their factories and a lot of the bottles can still be found on eBay and could be found throughout the factory if you had a chance to explore it. I had multiple opportunities to explore it throughout the years, starting all the way back in 2011 and all the way to 2017, right as it was starting to be dismantled. And we are actually working on a mini documentary that's going to dive into the full history of Townley's, what it represented to Oklahoma City, and what it was like for dairy factories back in that time, milk delivery, all those things. And I also had the exclusive chance to interview 2 of the Townleys who worked there, one Gail Townley and Guy Townley. So if you want to learn more about that time period and what made this factory so cool, be sure to subscribe because that video is coming out very soon, and I promise you won't want to miss this one. Number 2, Histon Memorial and the L.E. Raider Detention Center in Sand Springs. Now, these 2 facilities were right next to each other, but they became abandoned at 2 separate times. Now, the Histon Memorial Center was originally established as a facility for children with developmental disabilities in 1917. Over time, it grew into a full-scale institution offering various forms of care. The center eventually faced allegations of neglect and abuse, leading to its closure in 1999. The building stood abandoned for several years, serving as a haunting reminder of the service's complex history. The buildings remained abandoned to about 2009 to about 2010, and finally demolished in 2011. For those that did get a chance to explore it, there were so many buildings on campus, much like its neighboring facility, the L.E. Raider Detention Center, which actually closed in 2011, right as Histon was being demolished. And the L.E. Raider Detention Center had many of the same facilities. It had a pool, it had a chapel, a lot of the same type of facilities you saw at Hissam. Now, on both sites, there was active security watching these facilities with a close eye, because a lot of these buildings were dangerous, there was a lot of asbestos, and that's ultimately what led to their demolition. As of today, both Hissam Memorial Center and Ellie Raider Detention Center both have been demolished and replaced with new buildings. Now, before we get to number one, there are a couple of honorable mentions. The Rock Island Depot in Alabama, Oklahoma was one of my personal favorites. It was this huge open warehouse that was a facility where trains would be brought in for maintenance.
Oh, wow.
I can't
Look
express
at that,
the sheer
guys.
size of this place. And it was so interesting because there were these pools of green sludge that were under the train tracks in some areas. There were tools everywhere. There was even a place where employees would be clocking in and out. One of my favorite things to do was just walk around and feel the wind. But unfortunately, that place was demolished somewhere in the 2015 to 2016 area. There are a lot of videos that are going to be coming out very soon. More micro documentaries and a lot of exploration videos. So if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to click that subscribe button because you won't want to miss the upcoming content we have. So, without further ado, let's get into number one. The First Christian Church in Oklahoma City, otherwise known as the Egg Church. Although this particular building was not abandoned for a very long time, it definitely stands as a testament to architecture here in Oklahoma City. This masterpiece of a building was built in 1956 and was placed on the National Register of Historic Places on March 14th, 2011. One of the coolest things that we found while digging into the research of this building was that the first design of this building wasn't what you see today. In working with architects, the first design took on an international style of architecture, and in the second design, it had more of a triangular, very prismatic shape. Looking at it, it even kind of reminds me of the main building from Jurassic Park. Now, the history of this church is so complex and vast. It had a jewel box theater, it had an outdoor amphitheater. The congregation kept growing and growing and growing until about the 90s, but like many similarly sized churches, congregations started to dwindle over time. It was going to cost around $12 million just to bring it up to code, and so they moved into a smaller facility right behind the building, and there were numerous people that were interested in purchasing the building, including the Oklahoma Opry. The church had other plans and decided to demolish the church anyways, which upset a lot of local people, especially the preservationists who wanted to see new life breathed into this old building.
Oh my gosh. Dumb. Absolutely stupid. Absolutely dumb. Oh well.
The demolition was sudden and it came out of nowhere. And even 2 months prior to the demolition, it was seen that asbestos abatement was being conducted into the building, which means one of two things. That either means restoration is about to begin or demolition is about to begin. But when we posted about this on our social media, the church came out and said that this move was just to help to entice a buyer into purchasing the building, which made sense. However, it was just 2 months later when the building fell to the ground unexpectedly. It is still unclear as to the motive of why this building was demolished. However, we are working on a video that's going to highlight everything that details the history of this church, what exactly happened, and even detail an item that was rescued from this building and repurposed into something new. So not to reiterate, but be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this and see that video when it does come out, because I guarantee you, you won't want to miss that one either. We here at the Abandoned Atlas Foundation are always saying just because a building is abandoned doesn't mean it's the end of the story, but unfortunately, for all the buildings listed in this video, they have all been demolished, but their story can live on through our website, through the pictures we take, through the video that we've captured, and the interviews we've gotten with so many people that help tell the story. So until the next video, keep exploring.
Oh man. Wow. Okay. Okay, the Cool Toad vlogs. I don't know who you are, but consider that your first strike. My one rule in this chat room is don't be a dick. Keep it up, and I'm gonna kick your ass out of here. All right, let's move on. Alright, let's go to, there we go. Alright, now we got something that's more creepy than anything. Top 5 cryptids of Oklahoma. I've always been curious about this myself, so. Alright, now we get more on the spooky stuff. We'll do this, and we'll do one more that isn't concern Oklahoma. I think we'll do Sir Spooks next after this. So without further ado, away we go.
Top 5 cryptids of Oklahoma. Number 5. Oklahoma octopus.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
In the heart of America, nestled among the vast landscapes of Oklahoma, where the wind sweeps down the plains, lies a mystery as deep and murky as the man-made lakes that dot the region. This is a tale not of the land, but of the water, a tale of a mysterious creature that has ensnared the imagination and fear of those who dwell near these tranquil waters. The creature in question is none other than the Oklahoma octopus, a cryptid said to lurk in the depths of Oklahoma's lakes, an entity as elusive as it is terrifying. The Oklahoma octopus, according to legend, is a giant cephalopod, resembling an octopus or squid, with long, sinewy tentacles, each capable of ensnaring the unwary. Unlike its marine counterparts, which dwell in the vastness of the oceans, this cryptid is reported to inhabit freshwater environments, a rarity among cephalopods, which are primarily known to be oceanic creatures. This anomaly has fueled both skepticism and fascination, propelling the Oklahoma octopus from local folklore to a subject of wider cryptid lore.
Yeah, I remember watching this. This was on Lost Tapes one time. Yeah, this was on Lost Tapes one time on Animal Planet. I've heard rumors about this myself. So yeah, this should be interesting.
The legend of the Oklahoma octopus primarily revolves around 3 major lakes: Lake Thunderbird, Lake Owalaga, and Lake Tenkiller. These lakes, all man-made, were created in the mid-20th century for various purposes, including flood control, water supply, and recreation. It is in these serene yet deep waters that the octopus is said to reside, preying on unsuspecting swimmers and fishermen, its tentacles lurking beneath the surface. Eyewitness accounts over the years have varied, with some describing sudden, unexplained undercurrents, while others recount more direct encounters with tentacle-like appendages wrapping around limbs or boats. These stories have contributed to a growing body of anecdotal evidence, though definitive proof of the creature's existence remains elusive. Skeptics point to the lack of physical evidence, such as large penis-shaped carcasses or clear video footage, as reason to doubt the cryptid's existence. Yet, believers argue that the vast and inaccessible depths of these lakes could easily conceal such a creature, especially one as adept at hiding as the octopus. Here are a couple notable reports for the state. In 2013, a documentary crew from Animal Planet's Lost Tapes visited Lake Thunderbird to investigate the legend of the Oklahoma octopus. They interviewed several locals who claimed to have seen something or heard strange noises in the water. One of them was a fisherman who said he had caught a large tentacle on his hook, but it slipped away before he could reel it in. Another was a woman who said she had felt something grab her leg while swimming, but managed to escape. The crew also set up underwater cameras and bait traps to try to capture the creature on film, but they didn't find any conclusive evidence. In 1998, a group of friends decided to go camping near Lake Tenkiller. They set up their tents near the shore and went for a swim in the evening. As they were enjoying the water, they suddenly felt something brush against their feet. They looked down and saw a huge dark shape moving under the surface. They panicked and swam back to the shore as fast as they could. They grabbed their flashlights and shone them on the water, hoping to see what it was. To their horror, they saw a massive octopus-like creature emerge from the depths, with long arms and glowing eyes. It stared at them for a few seconds, then submerged again. The friends packed up their belongings and left the area as quickly as possible. They later reported their encounter to the local authorities, but they were not taken seriously. Scientifically, the idea of a freshwater octopus in Oklahoma poses intriguing questions. Cephalopods are known for their intelligence, adaptability, and complex behaviors, but they are also known for their need for saline environments. Theories on the Oklahoma octopus suggest a range of possibilities, from a prehistoric species that adapted to freshwater environments to a case of mistaken identity, with other aquatic creatures or debris such as dead bodies or floating turd islands being misinterpreted as tentacles in the murky waters.
True.
The cultural impact of the Oklahoma octopus is significant, with the creature featuring prominently in local lore and media. It has become a beacon of the mysteries that lie hidden in the natural world, a reminder of the unknowns that persist even in areas well traversed by humans. For cryptozoologists and enthusiasts of the paranormal, the octopus represents a tantalizing puzzle, a challenge to the boundaries of our understanding of wildlife and the possibility of undiscovered species. The legend of the Oklahoma octopus also serves as a warning about the respect and caution that these types of natural environments demand.
Yeah.
Whether or not the creature exists, the stories remind us of the power and mystery of nature, urging us to approach the wilderness with awe and respect. For those who fish or swim in Oklahoma's lakes, the legend is a backdrop to their activities, a thread of the unknown woven into the fabric of everyday life. In conclusion, the Oklahoma octopus stands as a fascinating chapter in the annals of American cryptids, a creature that bridges the gap between legend and reality. Its story is a confluence of culture, nature, and mystery, reflecting the human penchant for storytelling and our enduring fascination with the unknown. As long as the waters of Oklahoma's lakes remain deep and dark, the legend of the Oklahoma octopus will continue to thrive, a testament to the mysteries that lie just beneath the surface of our understanding. Number 4.
Yeah, well, for those who might even doubt the octopus's existence, also remember one thing. Dr. Jeremy Wayne of River Monsters went on an expedition to Florida because there had been rumors about a man-eater in the fresh water. Well, what he found was the bull shark. And what's really scary about that is, from his research, he's found out that these sharks can live in both saltwater and freshwater. They don't care where they go. They can move to fresh water if they feel like they're hungry enough, they feel like their food source is threatened, they'll move to a different type of water source, even if that's fresh water. And that's very, very dangerous. Plus, not only that, bull sharks are extremely territorial. They are highly aggressive. Yeah, that's the last thing you want to see coming at you in a freshwater lake. So, if, if bull sharks can do this, why not a certain type of cephalopod? I don't know. I guess until they finally really capture it, I guess we'll never really know. Goat Man. Oh yeah, I've heard of this.
Goat Man. In the shadowed corners of Oklahoma's vast wilderness, where the whisper of leaves and the crackle of underbrush compose a symphony of the untamed, there lurks a creature that defies explanation, a being that straddles the line between man and myth, between animal and nightmare. This entity, known as the Goat Man, stands as a monument to the enduring power of folklore and the deep well of human fascination with the supernatural. The Goat Man of Oklahoma is not merely a tale, it is a mosaic of fear, curiosity, and the unexplained that has been woven into the state's intricate web of legends. The Goat Man is described as a hybrid creature, possessing the physical attributes of both a human and a goat. Witnesses report a figure with the body of a man, yet crowned with the horned head of a goat. Its eyes, glowing like coals in the darkness, are said to pierce the soul with a gaze that is both mesmerizing and terrifying. This cryptid is reputed to emit a series of eerie sounds, from guttural growls to haunting screams, unsettling the silence of the night with its otherworldly chorus. The origins of the Goat Man legend in Oklahoma are as murky as the creature is elusive. Some trace its roots to ancient folklore, suggesting that such entities have been feared and revered across cultures for millennia, symbolizing the wild, untamed forces of nature and the darkness that lies beyond the bounds of human understanding. Others speculate that the Goat Man tales emerged from the shadows of the 20th century, perhaps as a cautionary figure embodying the anxieties of an era confronted with rapid change and the unknown frontiers of science and technology. Across Oklahoma, the Goat Man is said to roam the secluded woods and remote backroads, particularly in areas where the veil between civilization and the untamed wilderness is thinnest. Reports of encounters vary, with some describing fleeting glimpses of a figure darting across the road in the beam of car headlights, while others recount more chilling experiences of being stalked through the woods by a presence just beyond the reach of their campfire light. These encounters often leave an indelible mark on those who experience them, fueling a blend of fascination and fear that draws thrill seekers and paranormal investigators to Oklahoma's darkened woods in search of the Goat Man. Yet, for all the intrigue, the creature remains shrouded in mystery, with evidence as elusive as the entity itself. Photographs or physical traces are notoriously absent, leaving skeptics to dismiss the tales as mere urban legends or misidentifications of wildlife. Despite the skepticism, the legend of the Goat Man persists, fueled by personal experiences, the power of storytelling, and the human penchant for exploring the mysteries of our world. The creature has embedded itself in local culture, becoming a topic of campfire stories, a figure in local folklore, and even the subject of various media portrayals, from books to films, that seek to capture the essence of this otherworldly being. One of the earliest documented encounters with the Oklahoma Goat Man occurred in the late 19th century, when settlers and explorers began to push westward. In the rugged wilderness of Oklahoma, they reported eerie, goat-like calls echoing through the night and glimpses of a strange, hoofed figure darting among the trees. These accounts, often dismissed as the wild imaginings of frontiersmen, laid the foundation for the Goat Man's enduring presence in Oklahoma's folklore. One of the most famous encounters with the Goat Man occurred in the Wichita Mountains during the mid-20th century. A group of hikers stumbled upon a clearing in the woods, only to be confronted by the horrifying sight of the creature itself. They described it as standing over 7 feet tall, with matted fur and twisted horns that crowned its head. The encounter left the hikers traumatized, and their story spread like wildfire, solidifying the Goat Man's place in local legend. The Goat Man phenomenon also invites reflection on the broader themes of fear and the unknown. It raises questions about what lurks in the shadows of our understanding and our world, challenging us to confront the limits of our knowledge and the depths of our imagination. It serves as a reminder that, despite the advances of science and the spread of civilization, there remain corners of the world and recesses of the mind that are yet to be explored.
Yeah, that's true.
In the final analysis, the Goat Man of Oklahoma embodies the enduring allure of the cryptid phenomenon, a blend of myth, mystery, and the elemental human need to confront the unknown. Whether as a figment of collective imagination or a yet-to-be-discovered creature, the Goat Man continues to haunt the wilderness of Oklahoma, a symbol of the eternal dance between the known and the unknowable, the civilized and the wild, the human and the utterly other. Number 3. Oklahoma Owlman.
Oh, yeah. This guy.
In the heart of America, amidst the rolling hills and vast landscapes of Oklahoma, whispers and tales of a peculiar entity have woven themselves into the fabric of local folklore. This entity, known as the Owlman, occupies a space between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. Unlike its British counterpart, the Cornish Owlman of Monaghan, the Oklahoma Owlman has carved its own niche in the annals of cryptid lore, drawing the attention of both enthusiasts and skeptics alike. This exploration will delve deep into the heart of Oklahoma, in search of the elusive Owlman, a creature that defies conventional understanding and challenges our perceptions of the natural world. The Oklahoma Owlman, as reports suggest, is a creature of considerable size, bearing the semblance of an owl with human-like features. Witnesses describe it as standing tall, with expansive wings, piercing eyes, and an aura of mystery. The earliest known sightings date back to various points in the 20th century, with a notable increase in encounters during the late 2000s. These encounters often occur in secluded, wooded areas, far from the prying eyes of the general populace, lending a sense of isolation and intrigue to each reported sighting. The physical characteristics attributed to the Owlman are both fascinating and terrifying. It is said to stand at an imposing height, ranging from 5 to 7 feet tall, with a wingspan that can reach up to 10 to 15 feet or more.
Wow.
Its eyes, often described as glowing or intensely bright, seem to pierce through the darkness of night. The body of the Owlman is covered in feathers, ranging in color from dark brown to a muted gray, camouflaging it within the dense Oklahoma forests.
Wow.
Here are a couple recent reports. On June 13th, 2017, a man from Tulsa reported seeing a large winged creature near the Arkansas River. He said it was about 7 feet tall, had a gray coloration, and had large red eyes that reflected his flashlight beam. He said it looked like a cross between a man and an owl, and that it had claws on its feet and hands. He said it flew away as he approached it, and that he heard a loud flapping sound. He contacted the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, but they dismissed his report as a hoax or a misidentification of a known animal.
Of course.
On October 22nd, 2016, a couple from Oklahoma City claimed to have seen a giant owl-like creature outside their bedroom window at night.
Ooh.
They described it as having a wingspan of over 10 feet,
Whoa.
a feathery body, and large red eyes that glowed in the dark. They said it made a loud screeching noise and flew away when they turned on the lights. They reported their sighting to the local news and to the North American Wood Ape Conservancy, a group that investigates cryptid sightings. The existence of the Owlman has spawned a myriad of theories, each attempting to explain the nature of this mysterious creature. Some propose that the Owlman is a previously undiscovered species, a relic from a bygone era that has managed to elude scientific documentation.
Perhaps.
Others suggest a more supernatural origin, linking the Owlman to ancient Native American folklore and
Yeah.
spiritual beliefs, portraying it as a guardian of the natural world or a harbinger of change.
Maybe.
The Owlman has transcended the realm of mere sightings, embedding itself into the cultural landscape of Oklahoma. It has inspired a range of artistic and literary works, from paintings and sculptures to novels and films, each interpretation exploring different facets of the Owlman's existence. Local communities have embraced the mystery, with some viewing the Owlman as a symbol of the untamed wilderness that defines much of the state's terrain. The Oklahoma Owlman stands as a testament to the enduring power of myth and the human fascination with the unknown. Whether viewed through the lens of folklore, cultural symbol, or potential undiscovered species, the Owlman challenges us to consider the possibilities that lie beyond the boundaries of our understanding. As we continue to explore the mysteries of our world, the tale of the Oklahoma Owlman serves as a reminder that some secrets remain hidden, waiting in the shadows of our deepest forests and in the corners of our imagination. Number 2. Fouke Monster.
Oh, yeah. Fouke Monster.
Amidst the dense
Bigfoot.
foliage and shadowed waterways of the American South, a legend has taken root, bridging the gap between the whispered tales of old and the curious minds of the present. This legend, born in the swamps and woodlands that stretch from Arkansas into the neighboring terrains of Oklahoma, speaks of a creature as elusive as it is formidable, the Fouke Monster. While its origins and most famous encounters are rooted in the small town of Fouke, Arkansas, the story of this cryptid has crossed state lines, finding a place in the folklore of Oklahoma, where sightings and tales contribute to its mystique. The Fouke Monster, often described as a towering, ape-like creature covered in thick, dark hair, has become a fixture of southern cryptid lore.
Bigfoot.
Standing over 7 feet tall and leaving behind tracks that hint at its massive size, this creature has been the subject of countless encounters, reports, and debates. In Oklahoma, the tales of the Fouke Monster tap into a deep vein of regional folklore, echoing the human fascination with the wild and unknown that lurks just beyond the edges of our civilized worlds. The creature's presence in Oklahoma is marked by sporadic sightings and eerie anecdotes, often centered around the dense, unexplored forests and secluded waterways that characterize much of the state's landscape. These accounts paint a picture of a creature that is not bound by state lines, but roams the vast, interconnected ecosystems of the South, perhaps in search of solitude, or driven by ancient migratory instincts that predate the modern encroachments of humanity. Exploring the legend of the Fouke Monster in the context of Oklahoma requires delving into the broader themes of cryptozoology and the human psyche. The creature embodies the quintessential cryptid, a being that exists at the intersection of myth, reality, and the human desire to understand the mysteries of our natural world. It challenges our perceptions of what is possible, inviting us to consider the existence of undiscovered species that may dwell in the shadowed corners of our planet. The Fouke Monster's story is enriched by the cultural and ecological mosaic of the region. It speaks to a time when vast stretches of America were uncharted and wild, a reminder of the mysteries that may still hide in the less traveled parts of the nation. In Oklahoma, where the land itself tells a story of diversity and complexity, the Fouke Monster finds a fitting environment for its elusive existence. Here are a couple recent reports in the state. In August of 2022, a property owner in LaFleur County heard intimidating howls coming from the woods near his home, which is close to the Oklahoma-Arkansas border. He recorded the sounds and sent them to the BFRO, who analyzed them and confirmed that they were consistent with other Sasquatch vocalizations. The property owner also found large footprints and broken branches in the area where the howls originated. He said he had seen a dark figure moving in the trees on previous occasions, but never got a clear view of it. In July of 2022, a couple camping near Broken Bow Lake in McCurtain County were awakened by loud howls and screams around 3 a.m.
Ooh.
They looked outside their tent and saw a large, hairy creature standing on two legs about 50 yards away. The creature was about 8 feet tall, with broad shoulders, long arms, and glowing red eyes. It stared at them for a few seconds, then turned and walked into the woods. The couple packed up their belongings and left the campground as soon as they could. They reported their sighting to the BFRO, who visited the site and found several tracks and hair samples that matched those of the reported creature.
Wow.
The impact of the Fouke monster on local culture and beyond is undeniable. It has inspired films, books, and countless expeditions into the areas where it is said to dwell, each endeavor hoping to catch a glimpse or gather evidence of its existence. For some, the Fouke monster represents a thrilling mystery to be solved. For others, it is a symbol of nature's enduring mysteries, a testament to the wonders and fears that the wilderness inspires in the human heart. The quest to understand the Fouke monster also raises important questions about our relationship with the natural world. It underscores the delicate balance between exploration and conservation, between the thrill of the hunt for the unknown and the responsibility to preserve the habitats that may harbor such mysteries. In Oklahoma, as in Arkansas, the story of the Fouke monster is a call to look deeper into the wild spaces around us, to respect them as reservoirs of biodiversity and mystery.
That's right.
In conclusion, the legend of the Fouke monster in Oklahoma is more than just a tale of a cryptid crossing state lines. It is a story that weaves together the threads of folklore, ecology, and curiosity. It invites us to ponder the depths of our forests and the limits of our knowledge, challenging us to embrace the possibility of the unknown. As the sun sets over the Oklahoma landscape, casting long shadows that stretch into the unknown, the story of the Fouke monster continues to unfold, a perpetual mystery that enchants and eludes, reminding us of the wild heart that beats beneath the surface of our modern world. Number 1. Oklahoma Dogman.
Oh, yeah, this.
In the vast, undulating landscapes of Oklahoma, where the wind whispers secrets from the past and the horizon stretches into infinity, there exists a legend that has embedded itself into the local lore with a grip as tight as the land's own history.
Yeah.
This legend speaks of the Dogman, a creature that stands at the crossroads of fear and fascination, embodying the primal dread of what prowls in the unseen corners of the wilderness. The story of the Dogman in Oklahoma is not merely a tale of sightings and encounters. It is a complex web woven from the threads of ancient folklore, modern testimonies, and the unyielding quest to understand the unknown.
That's right.
The Dogman, as reported by those who claim to have encountered it, is a creature of imposing stature, standing upright on two legs, with the head of a canine and the body of a muscular human. Its eyes, reflective and penetrating, are often the most vivid detail recalled by witnesses, glowing in the darkness with an intensity that chills the soul. These sightings have been scattered across Oklahoma, emerging from the dense forests, the shadowed edges of fields, and the lonely stretches of rural roads that vein through the state.
Also, let it be clear that dogmen are not werewolves. Dogmen and werewolves are two different things. So yeah, there have been several. I've actually heard several stories about certain encounters with dogmen, and they're far more reasonable creatures, leading to believe that they're very intelligent. They're very intelligent. They're very reasonable. The one guy who this one person who saw the dog man. He was armed. He had his hand on his weapon, and I was the only reason it was growling at him. Well, that's all right, Sean. That's fine. The only reason the dog man stopped growling at him, he took his hand off. He put his gun up and put the fastener on it and showed that he was unarmed. Said, "Okay, if you don't wish me harm, I won't wish you harm." He stopped growling at him. They looked at each other for a little bit, and he kind of made an emotion. And several of his brothers, several of the dogman's kin, came walking through the woods. And then he looked back at him and said, "See, that's all I wanted. So I'm the scout. I'm supposed to make sure everything's clear. And you'd have drawn that gun all for nothing." And so, like, aren't you glad you didn't draw the weapon? You know, aren't you? He just kind of looked at him and said, "Aren't you glad you didn't draw that gun?" And said, "There was no need for violence. We weren't. That was the last thing on our minds." And he was right. He just wanted to make sure the coast was clear for his kin. So yeah, I'll have to find that story again one of these days. I found it on YouTube. I'll have to find it again.
These encounters with the Dogman bring to life a creature that seems to straddle two worlds, the natural and the supernatural.
Yeah.
Descriptions of the creature's howls, unnervingly human yet undeniably animalistic, fill the night air with a soundtrack of the uncanny. The tracks left behind, a mix of human and animal, serve as cryptic signs of its passage, a physical testament to a presence that defies easy categorization. The legend of the Dogman in Oklahoma taps into a deep well of cryptid folklore that stretches back through time. Similar entities have been described in various cultures worldwide, suggesting a universal archetype or a collective unease with creatures that defy the natural order. In Oklahoma, the Dogman is not just a cryptid, it is a modern manifestation of this ancient tale, a creature that embodies the wild, untamed essence of the state's vast landscapes. The impact of the Dogman on Oklahoma's cultural psyche is profound. It has inspired a mixture of fear, curiosity, and even a sense of wonder. For some, the Dogman is a thrilling mystery, a puzzle that beckons with the allure of the unknown. For others, it is a harbinger of the deep, dark truths that lie just beyond the edge of our understanding, a reminder of the mysteries that persist in our world despite the advances of civilization and science. Here are a couple fairly recent encounter reports. In Tulsa County, Oklahoma, a woman named Fartsmella had a horrifying encounter with a Dogman in 2016.
Oh man, that's not too far from where I live. Tulsa County. Ooh.
She was walking her dog at night in her neighborhood when she heard a loud roar coming from behind a fence. She thought it was a bear or a mountain lion, but when she looked over the fence, she saw a creature that looked like a giant wolf standing on two legs. It had red eyes, a long muzzle, sharp teeth, and claws. It was about 8 feet tall and covered in brown fur. Fartsmella said it stared at her with malice and anger, then lunged at her over the fence. She screamed and ran back to her house, dragging her due with her. She locked the door and called 911, but the police didn't find any evidence of the creature. Fartsmella said she was traumatized by the encounter and moved out of the area soon after. In Cleveland County, Oklahoma, a man named Ballsdeep Singh had a shocking encounter with a Dogman in 2018. He was hunting deer with his friend in the woods near Lake Thunderbird when they heard a strange howl coming from the distance. They thought it was a coyote or a wolf, but as they continued walking, they came across a large paw print on the ground that was bigger than their hands. They followed the trail of prints and came across a dead deer that had been ripped apart by something powerful.
Ooh.
They noticed blood and fur on the trees nearby, and then they saw the creature that had killed the deer. It was a beast that looked like a cross between a wolf and a man. It had gray fur, black eyes, a long tail, and human-like hands and feet. It was about 9 feet tall and must have weighed over 500 pounds. Balls Deep said it snarled at them and charged at them with incredible speed. He fired his rifle at it, but it did not seem to affect it. He and his friend ran for their lives, barely escaping the creature's attack. They reported their encounter to the North American Dogman Project. This fascination with the Dogman has given rise to a culture of exploration and inquiry. Enthusiasts, cryptozoologists, and skeptics alike venture into the wilds of Oklahoma, armed with cameras, recorders, and an insatiable desire to pierce the veil of mystery that surrounds this creature. These expeditions, while rarely conclusive, add layers to the legend, each account a thread in the ever-growing patchwork of the Dogman story. The Tales of the Dogman also prompts reflection on the relationship between humans and the natural world. It raises questions about what lies hidden in the unexplored shadows of our planet and what mysteries exist just beyond the limits of our perception. The Dogman, with its human-like intelligence and animalistic features, challenges our understanding of the natural order, blurring the lines between human, animal, and myth. In the end, the legend of the Dogman in Oklahoma is a testament to the power of storytelling and the enduring attraction to the mysteries of the natural world. It serves as a bridge between the known and the unknown, the seen and the unseen, inviting us to question, to explore, and to wonder. As the sun dips below the Oklahoma horizon, casting long shadows that merge land and legend, the tale of the Dogman continues to unfold, a tale as wild and untamed as the creature itself. Thank you for watching, my friends. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like. Until next time, take care of yourselves and try to stay safe out there.
Yeah. Darren W. Romulus. Ha ha ha. All right. Created by Mark Tessier. Of course, I know they have to have substituted names for people. But man, some of the names they used. All right. All right, there's that much. All right, we're going to close tonight. At least we're going to stop for right now. Yeah, well, remember, Wolf, those are Dogmen. And like I said, there are big differences between werewolves and Dogmen. As a matter of fact, we'll actually look at that next time. The differences between werewolves and Dogmen. Let's see. All right. Okay. Before we get last one, we're gonna do now. We're gonna do something outside Oklahoma. Let's see. Where is he? He released one not too long ago. I watched it. It was pretty good. So, we're going to do the newest from the man himself, Sir Spooks. We've got some new ones. Well, then we just might have to do both of them. Now, this is the one I saw not too long ago. Okay, we're going to start with him. Now that he's got another one, we'll see Dog Man. not Gog Man. Yeah, they do look amazing. I mean, they look similar, but there are differences between. There are two different types of cryptids. So, but anyway, we're gonna close the night out with Sir Spooks here. Here's the top 13 scary videos that will give you the shivers. You guys ready? I know I am. So without further ado, away we go. There we go.
Hello everyone, my name is Sir Spooks, and today we'll take a look at 13 scary videos. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more scary content. Alright, with that said, let's begin.
Oh boy.
This first piece of footage that we'll be taking a look at today was posted to TikTok by an account known as Paranormal Declassified, and is guaranteed to make you never want to have a house with a balcony. The video in question starts off pretty normal as we watch a woman walk into frame, at which point she can be seen folding up some towels that were hanging to dry on a laundry rack. All appears to be normal so far, but it's just a few seconds after the woman puts away the laundry rack that something bone-chilling can be seen on the balcony the moment she walks away.
No problem, Wolf. It's
Take
fine.
a look.
Oh, what the?
Although it only appears briefly, if you look closely, you can make out what appears to be some kind of a strange creature crawling on all fours on her balcony, slowly peeking its head in, perhaps trying to figure out where she went. The creature in question seems like it has dark sunken eyes and a lanky body, but because it's shrouded by the darkness, we can't really make out any other discernible features. What do you guys think is going on here? Is it possible that an otherworldly entity was crawling around on this woman's balcony, or is there something else at play here? Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Alright, let's look at that. Alright, that's there. Okay, yeah, sure. I'm sorry. I thought my camera might be a little too loud. Or I thought it might be a little too loud. Hang on. There we go. Is that better? How about now? How about now? How about now? You guys hear me? Alright, good. Alright. Sorry about that. Let's see. Alright, okay. First of all, I think it's pretty obvious. You can see the shirt that the guy has on. This is definitely a mask. A latex mask he's got on. You can see the mask. And you can... Alright. God damn it. Yeah, and you can tell he's got on shorts. Yeah. It's definitely a freaking weirdo in a mask. That's exactly what it is.
A YouTuber by the name of Miss Laura B posted a creepy video to her channel all the way back in September of 2006 that has been freaking people out online ever since. In the video, we can hear Laura talking while she's exploring an eerie, rundown, and allegedly haunted house that's located somewhere in Toronto, while the...
I'd say this new OBS studio. Yeah, I know. I hate when they fake things too. Well, yeah, that's nothing. One thing I do like about Sir Spooks is that is this a piece of paranormal footage or is this something else entirely? You know, which leads you to believe that even he's thinking this could be somebody. This could be some freaking weirdo in a mask. But still, even up there, that's still creepy. The girl's got her balcony door open, and he's up there messing around where he shouldn't be. It's ridiculous, and it's just downright freaking creepy. Personally, I don't like the audio split on OBS right now. I don't know what they've done to it, but I think I may have to go through a little audio check next time. But anyway, let's go on to the next one.
For the crew to back her up. Throughout the course of the video, we watch as Laura and the cameraman slowly make their way that's located exploring fine ever since. In the video, we can hear Laura talking while she's exploring an eerie, rundown, and allegedly haunted house that's located somewhere in Toronto, while with a crew to back her up.
Okay, good. She's got a crew to back her up. Good. She's not by herself. That's Cardinal Rule 101 for ghost hunting. Nobody goes anywhere alone. Alga and 7 Days to Die. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to get back to playing 7 Days to Die first before I can really give you an honest opinion, Wolf. Anyway.
Throughout the course of the video, we watch as Laura and the cameraman slowly make their way through the house, which has clearly seen some significantly better days. Other than the rundown state of the place though, so far nothing all that spooky has happened to Laura and her cameraman. But that's all going to change in a matter of seconds. Watch this.
So say, but wait, there's more!
There's even more damage, like now things are peeling off the walls. Everything up here, it's just disgusting.
Yeah, so why are you going upstairs if there's more damage up there?
Look at those holes in the walls up here. It's just... Oh, Jesus.
Oh, potato 99, as our kicks would call it.
Out of nowhere, a shockingly loud banging noise can be heard coming from someplace inside of the house, much to the surprise of the duo inside exploring. Something else that's super creepy is that right about here, if you look just closely enough, you can make out some kind of a ghostly girl running away. What could she have possibly been trying to run away from? Was she trying to hide from Laura and the cameraman, or was there something malicious going on with this ghost? Sadly, we'll likely never find out the answer.
Oh man, that video is so screwed up, it's so fuzzy, it's not even funny. Anybody in their right mind knows that's Laura running away from her own reflection. Oh my gosh. Come on, Sir Spooks, you're getting old, you're getting too predictable.
Over on Reddit, a user known as Appalachian Queen posted a video to the popular Ghost subreddit in which they showcase some security camera footage that was filmed inside of their house. The video in question is only 4 seconds long, but that's more than enough to creep you out. Take a look at the footage and pay careful attention to the far corner of the room and see if you notice anything strange.
Okay. Alright. Ooh. Okay, that?
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Some kind of apparition can be seen walking slowly across the floor before instantly vanishing into thin air.
Yeah, and that looks more like a ghost. That looks more like a specter, an apparition. Yeah.
The apparition in question almost appears as if they are elderly as well.
Yeah, it does.
Because of this, the uploader says that their roommate is absolutely convinced that this spirit is that of her mother. The uploader also states that they did see a pair of glasses at one point, and sure enough, the roommate's mother wore glasses.
That's kind of a creepy thought. Having the ghost of your mother haunt you.
Also, the uploader goes on to confirm that there was nobody else in the house at the time of this video's recording.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? Does this piece of security camera footage showcase a visit from a loved one? Or do you think this is all a setup? Be sure to let me know.
Alright.
This next video that we'll be taking a look at was posted to TikTok in June of 2024 by a woman named Kimberly. If you're expecting to have a good sleep tonight, then I would turn away now if I was you. In the video, Kimberly explains that her mother was not in the house at the time of this video's recording because she had to leave the house to leave something at their local church. This is important information to disclose, and you're about to see and hear why. In the video here, we watch as Kimberly sits down in her room and listens in horror to the noises she continuously hears coming from outside of her door. Take a listen.
Says, "This is not my mom. She left early to leave something at church. If she really was my mom, she has the key to open the door." Ooh.
Sacándome las cejas. Sí.
At one point in the video, Kimberly can be heard having a conversation with somebody outside the door who apparently sounds just like her mother, but in all reality is not her mother at all. In the video, we also watch as Kimberly grabs the closest weapon to her, a pair of scissors, in the case of this entity entering the room. Because of the events that happen in the video, lots of people suspect that Kimberly encountered a mimic that day.
Maybe.
An update video was then later posted by Kimberly showcasing text message proof that her mother was still at the church at the time of the mimic talking to Kimberly through her bedroom door.
So I texted her and she called me because she's over there at the church. And I didn't answer because I was in the restroom, but she was like, "Monday, like, what happened?" So I told her if she was the one who knocked at my door, and she said no, and I just put okay. So that's what happened. I don't know what happened. I'm confused.
This video is genuinely horrifying, as it just goes to show that in our creepy and twisted world, nothing and nobody can be trusted fully, not even if it's the voice of our own mother.
Yikes.
This next video was published in June of 2024 to a YouTube channel run by someone known as Sunny Beta. The video in question is only 2 minutes long, but showcases some genuinely unsettling footage that will make you fearful of the woods. The description reads as follows, quote, "In the early morning hours of May 30th, 2024, a trucker picking up equipment near Sunchild First Nation Reservation, northwest of Rocky Mountain House, Alberta, Canada, spots a large upright beast standing on the edge of a rural industrial site. The trucker did not see the beast until he was out of the truck, walking toward the equipment he was to load. He quickly ran back to his truck and drove off-site. The dash camera recorded the beast's image as the truck drove onto site. Estimated height of this beast is between 11 and 13 feet tall. Remote cameras have been placed around the site." End quote.
Ooh, what the actual freak of nature? Okay. Well. Oh, he sees it and he run away. He saw and he ran away.
They will be sure to post any updates should they become available. As for the footage that you just watched, though,
yeah,
it's definitely quite creepy indeed. It seems to show what appears to be none other than a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Whether or not this is true, though, is up to interpretation. What do you guys think? Did Sonny Vasa actually end up recording a Sasquatch on camera for the world to see? Or was this something far less sinister? Be sure to leave all your thoughts and theories in the comments.
Well, either that or it was a bunch of his friends dressing up Bigfoot costume or something like it and leaving it against a tree for him to see later and scare the ever living crap out of him. I don't know. It might have been. I don't know though. It might have been a Sasquatch. I don't know. Man, the way he gets up and gets out of there though, it's like nope, not me. Nope.
The following video was published on January 3rd, 2010, to a young teen's YouTube channel known as Everlasting Live, and showcases her and a friend attempting to make contact with the spirit. What ended up happening shocked them both. At around the 2-minute mark in the video, the girls asked the ghost 3 times if it can knock. At first, it seems as though the spirit is not going to listen to the girl's request, but then this happens.
Okay, if there's a ghost in here, knock twice.
Knock. Yeah, knock twice.
Oh my god! Oh my god, oh my god. I think I'm gonna leave. Finish.
Sure enough, what sounds like a small knocking noise can be heard coming from somewhere nearby, much to the amazement of the 2 friends who also appear to be equally freaked out, which makes sense. The friends then proceed to continue trying to talk to the spirit when out of nowhere, something startles them.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Is that a book?
Oh my god, that was a book. The book just fell off the shelf. That book just fell off the shelf, I swear to God.
Oh my god. Oh my god,
oh my god, it sounds like there's something moving on the carpet. What is it? I can't see it. Wait, look.
Oh my god, the book's moving. The book's moving.
Whoa. Oh my god. Should we leave?
Oh my god.
It's coming closer to us, Brianna. It stopped. But where is it?
Right there.
Wait, let me zoom in.
Just, yeah.
Can you guys read that? What does that say?
I don't know. What's on it?
A book can be seen falling to the ground, and you can see that it moves closer to the girls a few times throughout the video for some creepy reason. Before the girls end the video, though, they get one last scare from the spirit, perhaps trying to tell them to stop bothering it. Watch this.
I don't know if that's scary looking.
There's something in the closet. Oh my god.
Because this video is so old, I can't help but wonder what these 2 friends are doing these days and whether or not they've ever attempted to do something like this again. We'll likely never know.
Nope, probably not.
A person named Nita Addison uploaded a video to their YouTube channel in February of 2013 that showcases them outside in the middle of the night.
Well, it's either ghosts using people's voices, or it's a mimic or demon, or something worse. I don't know. But yeah, that spirit, I'm with her spooks. That spirit almost was like, hey, you know what? I haven't bothered you girls. Stop bothering me. I haven't done any harm to you. Just leave me alone. And a lot of spirits who are hanging around old places like that, like that's basically their attitude. That's their mentality. You know, they're, hey, yeah, I'm here. I'm watching you. This used to be my home. You're more than welcome to stay here. You know, just don't don't be really outrageous. So yeah, okay. If we come in contact with each other, just leave us alone. You leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. That's a lot of the ghosts nowadays. Not all of them, though, but most of them.
What happens next is absolutely bone-chilling.
Okay.
So if you're someone that enjoys going for late-night walks, you might not want to watch this.
Well,
in the video, Mida is outside near the Umatilla Indian Reservation when all of a sudden they hear a bizarre and frightening noise coming from somewhere nearby. Take a listen.
What? Are you serious? Sounds like
guys are braver than me.
Yeah, they are. Well, it's either, like that's either a nutcase laughing their head off, or it's a recording of a hyena.
No, it's right over there. No.
It almost sounds like the Joker himself is laughing maniacally in the forest. But of course, that can't be true. A lot of people in the comment section seem to think that it could be a fox or a coyote. But the vast majority of people believe that there is something far more sinister at play here. Sadly though, to this day, the mystery of the strange laughing at the Umatilla Indian Reservation has never been solved. If any of you live near this area, would you dare to venture out there at night and see if you can hear the laughter for yourself?
Hell no. I'm adventurous, but I'm not that adventurous.
A woman named Rosanna posted the following piece of footage to her TikTok account stating, quote, "There is a black hole. I don't know what's happening to me. The video will stay like that for hours." End quote. It's quite a bizarre statement to say the least. Take a look at the footage she managed to capture while stationary in her bedroom and see just how terrifying it looks to be there.
Yeah, you got some paranormal activity in your house, honey. I guess the ghost doesn't like books. Whoa, what the? There's something behind it. Oh.
As you can see, a whole bunch of paranormal ongoings are transpiring around the place, from moving objects and lights flickering on and off at random. In the second video that Rosanna uploaded, you can see even more unsettling things transpiring inside of her home. Take a look.
Oh man, look at that. I'd be going, okay, I get it. You're telling me you're here. I get it.
Right at the start of the video, you can see a mannequin head as well as a plate seemingly moving all on their own. There is also a point of the footage in which it seems as though the mannequin head follows Rosanna's movements, which is absolute nightmare fuel if you ask me. What do you guys think is going on inside of Rosanna's house? This looks to me like it belongs in some kind of Megan or Chucky movie. Let's just hope that nothing else happens with this creepy mannequin head. The Inunaki village is a Japanese urban legend that originated in the 1990s. It describes a mysterious village in Fukuoka Prefecture, where the inhabitants are said to aggressively reject the laws of the Japanese constitution. Allegedly situated near Mount Inunaki and the Inunaki Mountain Pass, the exact location of this village remains unknown. Notably, a real Inunaki village, unrelated to the legend, did exist from 1691 until 1889. At the entrance of the village, a handwritten sign allegedly warns, "The Japanese constitution is not in effect past here." To reach the village, one must follow a small unmarked road beyond the old Inunaki tunnel. The legend, set in the early 1970s, tells of a young couple whose car broke down on their way to Hisayama. Seeking help, they wandered into the forest and stumbled upon the village, which appeared deserted. They encountered a deranged old man who welcomed them to Inunaki and then brutally murdered them with a sickle. Another tale linked to Inunaki village involves a phone booth near the Inunaki Bridge that supposedly receives nightly calls from the village. Anyone who answers the call is cursed and transported to the village, where they gradually lose control of their body and mind before eventually dying. The old Inunaki tunnel, built in 1949 and abandoned after a new tunnel opened in 1975, is considered haunted due to its association with several murders. In 1988, 5 men abducted, tortured, and burned a factory worker to death in the tunnel. The tunnel is now sealed, and in 2000, another body was found in a nearby dam. This video that was published by a Japanese YouTube channel shows a man walking up to the old Inunaki tunnel, where he is greeted by something that startles him and causes him to walk away immediately. Watch this.
Oh, there's somebody sitting there. He just turns around.
Was that some person just sitting atop the bricks there?
Yeah.
Or was that a creepy ghostly entity? Either way, it was a disturbing enough sight for the uploader to instantly retrace his steps and leave, which was probably the best idea. Knowing the eerie history of this village, would you be brave enough to go near? A man named Dustin Lee Frazier uploaded a video to his TikTok account in June of 2024, in which he records live security camera footage that was taken at his place of work. Right from the start of the video, something truly unsettling happens that causes Dustin to hyperventilate,
this guy,
which results in him walking out of the security office and around the building to go investigate.
Yeah, I remember this. King Frostmare had this on one of his videos, and yeah, I saw it with our kicks too. So yeah, this was creepy.
Take a look. Some kind of a ghostly figure can be seen on the security camera, but when Dustin films out on the chair, the figure is somehow gone without a trace. Dustin then explores some more of the building, before eventually returning back to the security cameras. What he finds on the camera is startling.
Oh, it's not there anymore. Yeah, there was something there.
The ghost is also gone there, but on another security camera you can see the doors open.
Yeah.
Dustin then explores, but the door is closed. When he returns to the security cameras, he sees this. I don't know about you, but if I were in Dustin's shoes, I'd be looking for a new job immediately, just in case. The following post was submitted by a Reddit user known as Truth is Fiction YT and showcases footage that was taken straight from a nature documentary called The Great North. The footage at first shows a beautiful shot of some caribou running around next to a big body of water. It looks absolutely stunning, and you're surely thinking, how can this be creepy? But then, out of nowhere, this can be seen.
Oh! Did you guys see that?
Did you see it? At around the 4-second mark in the video, you can see what appears to be some kind of a tall, hairy entity walking around next to the caribou before it disappears shortly thereafter.
Yeah!
A lot of people seem to think that this may indeed be a Bigfoot due to the appearance. Of course, it is entirely possible that this may just be a normal person wandering around next to these animals. But it certainly would be kind of strange in a way.
Yeah.
Why would this guy be there next to the caribou?
Exactly.
It doesn't really add up. But what do you guys think? Do you think that this seemingly ordinary nature documentary accidentally ended up filming legitimate proof that Bigfoot exists? Be sure to let me know in the comments.
Well, also, if you back that up, look, watch. He's got something on his back, too. He's carrying something on his back. I wonder if it's an infant. Like a baby.
On June 7th, 2009, a woman named Athena Desiree posted a video to a YouTube channel that showcases some gorgeous footage of the daytime at Myrtle Beach on a bright summer day. At first, all appears to be perfectly normal. Some of you might even be watching this footage and wanting to go and take a visit to enjoy the last little bits of summer that we still have left.
Yeah.
But you may want to rethink that. At one point in the video, Athena pans the camera around to the glass door of her apartment building near the beach, and it's right here in which something absolutely terrifying can be seen. If you look carefully, you can make out some kind of a creepy ghostly face in the window.
Oh!
At the time of the recording, Athena says that she did not notice the face, and it wasn't until she reviewed the footage later on that she saw the ghostly face in the window. What happened after she noticed the ghost in the video is not public knowledge, but one can only assume that she got away from that apartment as soon as humanly possible. So, was there some kind of a ghostly entity lurking around inside of Athena's apartment, or was there something less sinister? Let's hope it's the latter.
Man, that's creepy. That is very creepy. Oh. If I saw that in my apartment, or in my hotel room, I'd be going, whoa, what the hell? Yeah.
YouTuber Dino Nugget 741 posted a video to his account in July of 2022.
Yeah, and King Frostbear has been keeping track of this guy too, because man, he's got one hell of a savage entity. I think it's from how dark it is, and considering the fact it's followed him after he's moved, I think it's a demon, and the fact that he's not been able to get rid of it so easily, I think it's a high-rank demon. I think you need some serious exorcism to get rid of this thing.
in which he explores his house and showcases some of the terrifying things that he's been encountering there. At around the 5.5-minute mark in the video, the uploader is simply wandering around in the basement when he suddenly hears a noise coming from upstairs that startles him.
Footsteps.
Just about 30 seconds later, he finds himself in for yet another scare when this can be heard.
Tired of this shit.
Jeez. Good grief. Yeah, whatever this thing is, it loves to mess with his head.
Despite the intensity of what's happening, the uploader nevertheless presses on with his investigation and proceeds to continue walking around the house with the camera recording. He doesn't get too far before yet another incident occurs. But before the video ends, the uploader finds himself in for one last scare when, in the basement, he proceeds to film the upstairs area and notices something absolutely horrifying.
Whoa!
Some kind of a black figure can be seen standing at the top of the stairs. What exactly this figure is, and what it wants, is anybody's guess, but it surely can't be anything good.
No.
Let's just hope that this YouTuber will finally be able to get some peace and quiet someday. And that was 13 scary videos. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then subscribe for more scary content. My name is Sir Spooks, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, man. Ooh, yeah. We saw some old ones and some new ones there. Saw some that I haven't seen in a while. Oh, man. One of these days I'm going to have to do a reaction to his Scary Places. The Scary Places episodes. Yeah. Hang on, let me do something real quick here. Properties. Hang on. Not what I'm looking for. Obviously. Oh, okay. Nope. Filters. Filter. No, suppression. There we go. Noise suppression. There we go. Alright, there we go. Like I said, I'll have to do some new I'll have to do some audio and video tests for this thing. Let's see. Now, is it 5 days ago? Oh, that's 10 months ago. Okay. So that's basically the newest one. Alright, guys. That's going to do it for me tonight. I think I'm going to watch some stuff with my dad. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see. But right now, yeah, that's going to do it for me for right now. Thanks for joining me. We'll have some more. We'll have some more paranormal stuff around Oklahoma pretty soon, and I will take the time to do some more videos. So I'll also try to see if I can't rearrange my my studio in here and rearrange my room to look a little better. Sorry, I was also helping my dad around the house, and also I was fixing my big Neptune 4 Max 3D printer. Thank God it's working. The guy, which reminds me, I need to email Elegoo and tell him, hey, everything's going fine, everything's working all right. Yeah, he was right. I needed a new motherboard, so yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Wolf, I'll see you sometime later. Daniel, thanks for coming on. Tyler McQuaid, remember my warning to you. That's your first strike. Sean, if you're still on there, if you're still interested, I'll be on Discord in a little bit if you want to continue, or unless, but for right now, I'm gonna bid you guys farewell. And remember, there's plenty more where this came from, because we won't be long before we'll be getting into the Halloween season. Can't wait. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna stop up this now, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, thanks for dropping by. Remember to stop by the chat room more, because I can see you now that I've got two screens open. I've got my HDTV and I've got my HDTV monitor now open, connected to the same computer. So that's all for now, guys. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. You guys stay safe. You stay awesome.